Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Highbrook Motorway Railway Live, up to number 32. Maybe I should do a big sort of special when we hit 50 or 100 or something, you know, do something slightly stupid and wacky for the fun of it. But anyway, we're not. I can't speak. We're way off that yet, so we'll just carry on as usual. So welcome back to Highbrook Motorway Railway Live. Note, I can't read. Let me just put my teeth in and slow down a bit. We're not doing any scenery today, we are just running trains because as I have just managed to update it. Right, let me put my second set of teeth in and we'll try again. This stream, as I have said in the just updated description, we are going to iron out any mistakes and any problems that with the trains or the locos or sort of the layout or anything like that. We're going to iron out hopefully all of the problems today, because if some engines need servicing before next week's Christmas special, I'll find out today. You know, if something's not quite on the layout, if some fish plates are loose or some signals don't work or some points don't change, or there's a power supply problem with, I don't know, say one of the feeds down on this side of the layout just went and everything started crawling to a halt down here, then I want to find that out before next stream. Well, not next stream, because we'll be doing that tomorrow, but before the Christmas special next week. So that is what we are doing today, and of course we're going to take your requests and have discussions in the live chat and stuff like that. But the focus for today's stream is trying to get as many requests as possible and do as many combinations of things as I can, just to ensure that if anything goes wrong, it needs to go now. It needs to go wrong now, because then I can fix it. I've got a week and a day to fix it until, God's sake, I cannot speak today. We've got a week and a day to fix it up to Saturday the 23rd next week, which is when we're doing the Christmas special. So that is what we're doing today. I've just put some trains on the layout to start off with. The D11 and the Virgin coaches, which they are going on sale very shortly. I think Timber Valley, who is in the chat, good evening, and good evening to you, Pete, as well, said they're worth about £10 each, so I'll start them on eBay. I don't know whether to bother doing a 7-day auction, to be honest, because nobody in the first couple of days comes across them. So I may just stick them on at a 3 or 5-day auction, to be honest. But yeah, for now, the D11 and the last one of the Virgin coaches, they're on. I've got the 9F, how many Pullmans? 1, 2, 3, 4 Pullmans. A maroon coach and a blood and custard, and then I've just got the 08 on with 2 tanker sort of type things and that guards van there. Because I seem to always run the 08 with massively long trains, so I've put something a little bit shorter on today. So that is what we are doing. So I'll be back in about 13 seconds when I actually remember to play the intro. So I'm going to play the intro now, back in 13 seconds, and I do hope you enjoy the stream, everyone. Right, we're back. Let's get some trains moving. So I'll tell you what, we'll start off with the middle line. The Riddles line. Oh, change the signal. Just about got there. And I've just realised these trains are rubbing themselves up the side of the Christmas tree, so let's just shift that slightly and bring the saxophone playing reindeer, which does actually play it, but I'll save that for the Christmas stream next week. But the 9F I think is just about, yeah, it's working fine. We'll send the 08 off next. Jaden's in. Hello, Jaden. Nice to see you. And hello to Pete and Timber Valley as well. Nice to see you. Let's give the 9F a little bit more willy. I haven't given it much beans there, have I? It's going a bit slow. There we go. And finally, the D11 and the last run of the Virgin coaches before I put them on eBay. They are actually fitted with lights of those Virgin coaches, so I need to remember to dismantle all that and take all that out of them. It's got like the reed switch, the batteries, the LEDs. And the D11's decided to decouple itself from its train. That's rather interesting. So yeah, I need to take all the lighting gubbins. There's the D11. I need to take all the lighting gubbins out of the coaches. And that's another thing. I've also lost the stack of 60 magnets. But actually, I have them really small circular magnets that I stick to the underside of the coaches, and then that activates the read switch. Well, I've not got a clue where they are, and that's quite annoying because at this exact time last year, I lost the set of magnets that came with the coaches, so I ordered those stack of 60 magnets to replace them because I needed them for the Christmas stream. You know, I have everything lit up, so I needed the coaches to be lit up. And then 1 year later, at the exact same time, I've lost the magnets that I bought to replace the magnets I originally lost. So that's annoyed me, so I've been searching around the loft to find them. Haven't been able to find them. So, yeah, it looks like I might be ordering some more if I don't find them soon. So I ideally would like all the coaches lit up for next week. Like I did last year. Let's catch up on some comments. Yes, I've said hello. Pete says it's that Latin. It might as well be. If you take a request, could I see the Ginty doing some shunting in the yard? Well, I haven't made the video on the Ginty yet, and I'm reluctant to dismantle it, put the blanking plug in, run it for a little bit, and then have to undo it all so I can get the service video up on it. I'll probably be able to do the service video on it this weekend. I might get some time to do that tomorrow. So once I've filmed it and actually got the fitting of the blanking plug therein on video, then I'll be happy to run the 08. I can do something else doing some shunting if you want. But for now, I'm going to politely decline and say I want to film the video because I just don't want to have to dismantle it, put the decoder in, and then, you know, take it apart again to put the decoder out so I can film it for the video. So for now, it's a respectful decline, but I'm more than happy to do something else with some shunting. But yeah, I just don't want to have to take it apart multiple times to show on video. Why don't you build some of the Wordsworth card kits on stream? Yes, I could do at some point. You've mentioned them before. Thank you for asking. I'm not doing too bad. Hopefully you're doing alright as well. If not the Ginty, then a small engine. Yep, of course. I shall dig something out in a minute. It said the stream has died for me. We were just at 3 kilobytes per second then instead of 10. We'll just make sure the Ethernet's making a good connection. How are we doing? Let me have a check on the YouTube side of things. YouTube Studio. Live control room is there. Stream, let's select view, let's just check the logs. Duplicate stream key. Error, duplicate stream key. Select a new key below to go live or switch to Highbrook HEMR Live 32 trains before Christmas at Highbrook End. Huh. Can you still see the stream? Because if I press that button and it breaks, then I don't want to... If I press that button and it breaks, I don't want to kick you all off the stream if it's working fine. So can you all still see and hear me? You know, sort of if you click off the stream, for instance, can you get back on it? Because if not, I'm reluctant to press that button. That's odd. Do I press the button though? Because then I don't get... If the stream goes down, people are saying it's fine. But I kind of want to press that button because then I can't get the sort of signal stream strength notifications if I don't. Right. I am going to press this button now. Let's just fix this. There we go. This is what I've got. So, I kind of want to press this because I don't get the stats. Because normally in the page here when you're live there should be a page full of stats about the stream. So I kind of want to press this button. So if the stream goes down, it's not actually my fault. So I'm going to press this button, and and I'm going to see what happens. This may break things. It's not broken things! Yes, this is a correct live chat, there we go. Are we live? Yes, it says live, stream health, excellent connection, all the chats here. Ah. Yeah, that all looks about right. Right, good. Since 2035 when I first logged on, the stream was healthy. Nice, so things are working and I've not completely just broken everything. Right, we'll leave that open and go back to the trains. Encoding overloaded. Consider using... Oh, it's disappeared now. Oh, never mind. I'll just leave it. Timber Valley's having Wi-Fi problems again, it sounds like. As long as everybody else can see it, Jaden and Pete can. Because it's all good. Okay, that's fine. So this brings the problem. Do I switch to normal latency next week, or do I leave it on low latency? Because I think it is on low latency at the moment. The problem being then is, I then have to wait about 45 seconds. So if I sort of show the word search on screen in real time, you won't see that until about 45 seconds to a minute later because it's on normal latency. But if I do that on low latency, then I think the delay gets reduced to something like about 10 seconds, so it's really quite quick, and you do need better Wi-Fi for it, so it's a balance between is it watchable and do I get a fast response. So I need to make my mind up about that next week. Jaden, yes, basically. I do apologise though. Even if it's not technically my fault, but rural Wi-Fi is not great, but I shall just apologise anyway. Has anything derailed horribly yet? No, it hasn't. Wow. It's a miracle. Yeah, I really do need to find the magnets to turn the lights on in those coaches, because if I don't, then that means I'm going to spend another £5 getting some more. I really should put them in a more safe location, to be honest with you, but I don't exactly understand how I've managed to lose them in the first place. It's a little bit irritating, to be honest with you. I don't know where they've gone. Actually, I do know where they might have gone. I've just had a thought then. Have I put them in the tray where my extra precision screwdrivers... Ah, found them! I've found them! Yeah, I thought they might be there. They're in my toolbox drawer where all my tools and bits and bobs are. I found them. I've chucked them in my drawer along with my screwdrivers and all my tools that are in there. And, yeah, because they're normally stuck to a screw on the front of my controller drawer. You know, my controller drawer that sort of slides in and out that I have my keyboard and my mouse on when I'm streaming and stuff. They're normally stuck on a screw in front of there, but when I were doing scenery, I must have put them in that toolbox and bits and that tool drawer to keep them out of the way so I didn't knock them. And that's obviously what I've done, so I've just opened the drawer and found it. I thought they might be in there. Here we go. Found the magnets, so that's good. Don't need to order some more magnets. That was quite a lucky find. So yeah, I don't know what the batteries are like. These lights have not been on a lot this year because you know I don't want to have to replace the battery every 2 weeks. So all there is like a little reed switch under here that I've just taped in place. Really, I probably will glue them at some point in time. If I drop that on there. You can just about see the lights, but I tell you what, I'll just knock the lights off. I'm not going to put the Christmas lights on, because that ruins the fun for next week, but that's a webcam light that's on over here. You can now see that this coach is lit up. Quite nicely. And I know I said in Discord, let's get some lights back on. Click. Click. I know I said in Discord the other day I had put a resistor in place in series with the circuit for the signals. I've since discovered today that quite a lot of the signals, for whatever reason, even though they were working fine when I took that Discord photo, quite a lot of the signals had actually... had problems with brightness, because I think, if I'm right in saying, the forward voltage of a green LED is higher than that of a red LED, so that when I have, say, more of the signals are set to green rather than red, which generally they are on the layout, then I've noticed that every other signal, if there was more green signals on than red, I've noticed that all the other signals are dipping in intensity, and that's because there was a 2.2 kilo ohm, 2.2k resistor in series with the power supply for the signals. And even though that created the right level of brightness, it wasn't getting enough power to the other signals when most of the signals were on green. You just want enough voltage getting to the other signals, and they'd all dip when you changed it. So what I am going to do, I've got some 512 ohm resistors. I'm going to see if 1.5k, it'll be roughly 1.5k with 512 ohm resistors. I'm going to see if 1.5k rather than 2.2 will do it, and I can just drop it down in steps of 512 ohm. So, you know, it's been at roughly 2.2k, then I'll drop it down to 1.5, then I'll go 1000, and then I can go to 500 ohm in series. And I'll just see, you know, what's the lowest brightness I can get it, aside from 2.2k, but with all the signals still lit at a decent intensity, because especially this green signal here, it's not really showing up on the hand, it's quite bright over here. You can just see, it is really dim, that one, for some reason. That wasn't it's still quite dim now, but it wasn't fully lighting up earlier, so you can see it is lit there. I don't know why that one's so dim. That's odd. But anyway, I'm going to try and drop the resistance down from 2.2k to see if I can get a slightly not floodlight level of illumination, but so that all the signals still light at a decent intensity, if you know what I mean. I'm wondering if something's come loose, because that's really dim, is that one. That's probably the second signal in the circuit as well, so that's odd. Anyway. Shall we see a farewell rail top of Virgin HST? Yes, certainly. I mean, the Virgin HST won't be going, because if Electra Rail can hook me up with some decals to change this from a Virgin one into a Virgin Trains East Coast one, then, excuse me, I'm just going to keep the same HST. They do an LNER HST, which is basically exactly the same as the Virgin one, except instead of having the LNER logo about here, it's the Virgin logo instead, because I want to make a Virgin Trains East Coast HST. So, I'm hoping when they get back to me on email, oh actually I just had a comment about that, did you get a response from Electra? No, not yet, but I'm hoping, because they already make an LNER HST, I'm hoping it's a simple enough job for them to replace the LNER logo that's about here with the Virgin logo, and then, you know, it really shouldn't be too difficult for them to do that when they already make an LNER one, which, as I've said, is exactly the same as the Virgin Trains East Coast one, but just has the Virgin logo roughly here, instead of the LNER one here. So, I shouldn't need to change HSTs, I think this one is perfectly serviceable. I do need to get a proper light lens for the front, because that's one I've just forged with a bit of painted blue tack and hot glue, so I might just suck up and spend the £5 to get a proper light lens. But hopefully they'll get back to me shortly when the shop's back up and running, because I know where it's shut at the moment. So hopefully they'll get back to me at some point and tell me that yes, we can do that, we can just change the logo, and then I'll be able to have my Virgin Trains East Coast HST. And that was another comment which I missed a little while ago. I do apologise about that. I think I've missed it. I think Timber Valley said, are you going to review the stuff you made from Hattons? You ordered from Hattons? Yes, I am. Coming tomorrow between 12 and 3 o'clock, I think the delivery email said. So yeah, I will review one of the 3 coaches, because they're basically all identical apart from the coach and running numbers, as far as I'm aware. So I'll just review one, and then I'll run them in the review as well. But yes, I will do a review in them. The D11 is spadding. Is it? I don't think it is. my signalling is not necessarily conventional. I've wired the signals and placed the signals loosely based on railway terms, but in a sense that makes sense to me and people watching. This is the signal on the right, turning off into the coal yard, which is set to red. The signal for going straight ahead is set to green. I know that might not necessarily be railway convention, but I need it to make sense. I need it to make sense to me at a glance and to anybody watching the stream at a glance. But obviously, it's not made sense to you because you probably know actual signalling protocols, which is a lot better than I can do at the moment. But you can see that, yeah, the one on the right is the signal to say, can you go into the siding on the right, and if that's green, you can. If it's red, it's not. And the one on the left is for the main line. So left one's for main line, the right one's for the siding. But yeah, it's probably wrong, but that's how it makes sense to me at least. Similar sort of one over here on the main line. There's red for off into the sawmill and green for the main line. I don't have a signal for the third radius crossover because if these points are open, then there's no real point having signals here because the third radius and the second radius, just by definition of working on DC, both lines have to be clear. If I try and open these points now, which I'd never do, both trains will just crash into each other. That's why there's not necessarily one in this direction for the third radius coming from the third onto the second, but there is this one from the second onto the third. Because I could always have a train in the siding here or round in the runaround loop over at the station. So I wanted one signal here just because of the fact that I've got siding here and the runaround loop in the station on the second radius, but from the third to the second there's no sidings or anything like that. So that's why I wanted the signal here. Same here, same principle here. Left signal for going into the siding, right for carrying on the main line. And then from the fourth to the third, there's just no signals for that crossover because although there is sidings on the fourth, there's none on the third, so there's just no signals to go in like that. Because again, for a train to go from the fourth to the third, both the fourth and the third have to be clear because then I'll open those points. And because there's no sidings on the third radius, I just didn't bother putting one in. Maybe I should at some point, but to be honest, it makes sense to me at least. So, yeah, you know, I'm just going to leave it, I think. Plus also not too far from like there to there, there is another set of green signals that tells you whether the main line's clear or not. So yeah, I'm not too bothered about, I think you've said there, yeah, you should have a feather indicator, yeah. But yeah, it makes sense to me, so I'm not overly bothered. It makes sense to me why I'd need a signal from the second to the third, but not necessarily from third to fourth or fourth to third. Yeah, I don't quite understand why this signal over here is so dim compared to, I mean, look at how dim that is compared to that one over there. Rule 1 after all, what? Have fun, I suppose. Is that rule 1? Not sure. No, don't spad is probably rule 1. It's got to go now, we'll catch up later. Thank you very much for joining. Hope to see you again soon, and thank you for joining, Timber Valley. No homemade burger for you. Yeah, why is this one so dim? That's actually slightly annoying. This one, by the way, I'll just change the signal manually. That one's normal brightness on green and red. That one's normal on red. Oh yeah, look. That's just... Is that LED even still lit? Yeah, it's still lit, but it's so dim. You're not even really going to see it. Just change that for the 08. It's derailed, probably because I changed the point to. Yes, that's exactly what I've done. I changed the point to. Oh yeah, that's it. That's a slight problem there. That is a massive problem there. Let's just do that properly. It was. I didn't even need to change the point. It was right before I passed with it. I don't know why that is so dim. That is concerning and annoying. I hate it when LEDs do this. Yeah, so red and green work for the other one, but only red works for that one. I didn't change that point properly then, that one's not even come on. There we go. So, that is a bit odd. Why is my laptop like constantly sliding down the ramp I've got it on? Please don't. Right, so I'm going to stop the 08 there and try and investigate that. It's fine when it's like that, but the other way, the green just didn't come on at all. Look. The other one's a bit dicky. I think that's because I'm not using the point mode to change it. I think it's because I'm using my finger. Right, so I'm going to stop the 08 in here and see if I can't figure out why this signal... Yeah, look, if I flick this now, yeah, the left one comes on. It's just because when you don't change it with the point mode, it can be a bit dicky, which is fair enough. But... Right, so I'm not overly sure. I'll put all cameras on while I'm mucking about under the baseboards, and this is why we do test runs. I'm not overly sure why this signal isn't working. I'm hoping it's just a loose connection or something. Where's my phone? Can't see a damn thing under these baseboards. Let's see. Right. Obviously you can't see this and I apologise for that, but I can do some narration. So that red feed comes in there. Where can I put my phone to see? I'll just do some narration, you can have a general gist of what I'm doing. So the red feed comes in there. So if I take this wire out, right? If I take this wire out, then most of the signals on the layout should now go out. Which they have? Oh no, right, of course, yeah, because that one just loops. Yeah, so, yeah, if I untwisted those wires, most of the wires on the layout would go out. But that's, yeah, so that's just a feed that Daisy changed up everything else. Yeah, so it's just that one that's gone out, that makes sense. So now, if I just touch that back into the terminal, I wonder if the copper's just got a bit, I wonder if that needs soldering. That, look, I can see on my computer, the good thing of having a computer here, oh no, that's come out. Good thing about having a computer here is that I can see what's happening above the baseboard without actually having to scroll up and down all the time. So the green should be on when that's there, so we've not got a... The positive supply isn't a problem, so I can tighten that back up. Hopefully you're enjoying the narration and my soothing voice. So let's try this black wire. Let's undo that. And what goes out when I take that out? Nothing. Alright, so that's the red feed and the green feed for when it's changed over that way. I stick that back in there. That's odd, isn't it? So I don't think it's anything wrong on that side. I'll just check the connections over here. Now that block's come loose. Could that have something to do with it? Maybe. Just screw that back in. Screw you back in. No, they're all the connections over here are nice and tight. my little harness that comes off the point motor. So that's good. Maybe it's just a dicky signal, in which case that would be really annoying. That one was a little bit loose. That one's a little bit loose. That one was worryingly loose. That one's very tight. That one's very tight. Still got a red. Still not got a green. That's fine there. So what about the green supply? Which one's that? Set that one up. Is that now none of them? Yeah, so the red one, yeah, that's fine. So that one I've just unscrewed is the green and red supply. That green wire barely looks like it's making contact with that red one. In fact, I don't think it is, so that's come undone somehow. Right, so basically what I have done on the baseboard is when one signal needs to be red and one signal needs to be green, I've just twisted the green and red wire together, soldered them, and then I have put them into the terminal block so that, you know, one supply is green from the green wire to the signal, and then one signal is green. And then the other signal, there's a red wire that comes down, and then that signal, when the other one signal is green, the other one's red, which is how it should be. However, excuse me, it appears to me like these solder joints has come undone somehow. I don't know how, but somehow it looks like the joints come undone. So, if you'll excuse me for just a few moments longer, I need to resolder it, and hopefully it'll be alright once I've done that. But that means rigging up an extension lead across the layouts and soldering it. So if anyone has any requests, do put them in now. This laptop, why is the laptop sloping down like that? It's not done that before. Anyway, if anyone has any requests while I'm waiting for the soldering iron to warm up, then please let me know. If I tilt the screen a bit further back, no, that makes it even worse. Right, so I'm hoping just by soldering these two together, again, I'll just strip them back a bit further, hopefully it'll be a bit better. And I have just noticed under the workbench the connector blocks come down, come unscrewed, so I'll screw that in next time I have the workbench out. The soldering iron's actually quite fast to heat up, so it might already be done. Yeah, it is. Right. Apologies for the slight delay in proceedings, folks, but I did say the whole point of this stream was to iron stuff out. Right, the lead on that green wire is actually really short and looks like it might be under quite a bit of tension when it's rammed into the chock block. So I think what I might do is actually solder a new length of wire onto the end of it. Let's get the soldering stand out. I don't know why I didn't get that out a minute ago. So, what I might do... Now that red one wants stripping back a little bit more. dirty actually. It might be not helping the situation. Right. I'm going to solder them two together. Add a new length of cable on. And then see how we go from there. Where's my thicker black cable in here? Have I not got any left? No. Alright, I'll use red then. Red should be fine. So I'm going to solder them two together. Add a little extension piece on. And then that'll hopefully make it under less strain. It'll be under a lot less strain then, and then hopefully will stay soldered, then hopefully it'll be the same brightness. Have I just whacked the camera? Yeah, apologies. I've caught that camera lead. My apologies. Pete's wanting burgers, so am I actually. Even though I've had tea. Very nice tea for heaters. The mention of burgers makes me hungry. Maybe I ought to have something when I go downstairs. A dessert. Or as a sweet, my grandma and grandparents would probably call it. Right, that's that little extension piece of wire done. So now I'm going to solder the wires up here, bung that extension piece on. And then hopefully this will work now. So I'm going to twist it. You can't see what I'm doing, but I really hope you're enjoying the narration. I can't even see what I'm doing really. Right, so the red and the green I'm just reconnecting now. And I'm going to whack a load of solder on and make sure it's a really good joint. And that's red hot solder splashing down from underneath the baseboards. Lovely. Yeah, that's a lot of solder on there. Jaden's back. He's just finished making his burgers. Putting them in the pan. Very nice. That's red hot solder. It's just made a slight scorch mark on the wood. Never mind. Right, so that's those two connected together. Now I just need to strip back a length of this. Not cut through the piece of extension wire. I really need to just strip a length back. There we go, like that. Then it's open-ended, so I don't have to worry about heat shrink or anything like that. So solder one end of this. If anyone's got any requests, do put them in the chat. The 08's only stopped because I need to work on this point, and I can't, you know, if I'm testing it and changing it, I can't have the 08 derailing every 30 seconds. So that's that done. So I need to solder one end of this extension wire onto the red and the green. And my fingers. My fingers. Note to self, don't hold the end of a piece of wire you're soldering. If it's really short, it gets really hot. Funny that, isn't it? That looks like a decent enough joint. Now I need a piece of heat shrink. Let's go that size. Should be. I like this heat shrink, by the way. It's lovely stuff. I'm actually just going to make a slit down the end of this piece of heat shrink, because then it can go over and fit a little bit better. Oh yeah, that'll fit nicely. We don't need that much though. Let's just cut the piece of that off. See if we can get that heat shrinked up. It probably really didn't need heat shrinking, but you know what? I've got some, so we might as well do it properly. Would use a lighter, but you know, lighter in a lot is a bad idea, so I'll listen with the end of my soldering iron instead. It's the same job. That's not the neatest, but that looks alright. And then, with any luck, when I connect this bit of wire up in there, the green light should be nice and bright, which it isn't. Oh god damn it. Damn it. The green light's still not coming on. So we have a problem here. So, this signal's going to have to actually come out now, because I can't work on that signal underneath the baseboard. So that signal now needs to come out, because there's something wrong with it. So, that means disconnecting all the other connections and finding out what the problem is. Whether it's really high resistance wiring that I've used, or whether something's just up with it. Oh great, I've soldered the resistors together as well. Undo those. Right. So, providing physics still works, I should just be able to lift this signal out now. He says, oh right, there's a big blob of solder on the end of it. That's why. Lock that off. Right, I've got the signal out, I'm back. Oh no, that's not good. Chair's jammed itself. There we go. No. I've just changed a point somewhere. Where? Oh, there. Change that right. Yeah, I just jammed the chair on one of my points. Right, so let me get myself not in a massive pile of wires. The long and short of it is that one of my signals is dicky, which is concerning because they haven't been in that long. That were it January, I think it was like January to March. When was it? Yeah, I think it was January to March last year. Well, no, this year. Sorry, that these signals have been. So they've not lasted a right long time, have they? That's a little bit worrying. They were cheap, but then LEDs should last forever, really. Right. Let's see what we can do. We've been live for almost 50 minutes. So for whatever reason, and I really could do with my schnips, if we come onto the camera where I can actually get in front of the camera, this signal doesn't work. And I don't know why. So, I'm going to try and snip this back, like that. And then I'm going to get some crocodile clips, lock the 08 into its side in which it is, so it gets no power, so I can literally just whack this line up to full power, the second radius line. Put a flying lead onto this signal and see what happens. So positive can be red and black should be negative, but I've got yellow. So I think it's switched positive, no, it's switched negative. So positive actually needs to go on to it. It doesn't really make a difference, but I need to connect positive here. Got it there. Connect up to green here. Yeah, look, it's a dicky signal. That should be brighter than that. Oh, mind you, we are on half wave. If I switch to full wave now. Oh, that's because I've lent on the power switch for the 11. That should be brighter than that. Any requests, please do remember to put them in and I'll get them on as soon as possible. What happens if I swap the leads over? Now I presume it won't light now. Because the polarity will be wrong. Indeed it is. So red should light up now. Yeah, look how bright. Oops. Look how bright that red is. Then if I connect to green. Connect the right one to green. We've got nothing. We still have nothing. It's getting worse. Have I just blown up this signal entirely now? Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, now it don't work. Oh, that's even better. So now it just don't work at all. How did you could try red? No, red doesn't work now either. Oh, lovely. So it's now just died completely. Needless to say, I'm not very impressed. Oh yeah, it switched. I don't even know now. I am starting to doubt myself. If I just quickly open this siding, does the 08 still move? Yeah, look. Oh, you can't see, but it's fighting against my hand. So there's power on the track. Pete said it's lights out, and oh dear, yeah, it's not away we go. Not Martin Brundle getting really excited as usual. It's lights out, and it's a massive failure. This track is filthy, I've just noticed. It's lights out, and oh dear indeed. I'm now starting to doubt these crocodile clips, so let's get another random two that look not so knackered. Right, this is starting to get a little bit annoying now. I've got darts to catch up on as well when I get downstairs. So it's switched negative, so... Oh, hang on, did I have the controller set the wrong way? I bet that... Oh. I may have had the controller set to backwards, not forwards. I need forwards for positive voltage. It's lights out and away we go with the electronics indeed. Flying Scotsman with brake van. I regret to tell you that Flying Scotsman's one of the engines that needs a service. Because it just don't work full stop. Oh yeah, it is now. Everything's just dead now. Oh, for God's sake! What happens if I just reverse the switch? Yeah, it's completely nothing now. God. Right, what happens if I quickly just bung it onto the fourth? Yeah, that's a dead signal. Yep. Oh, right. So now we haven't got a half working signal. We've got a full stop not working signal. That's not great. That's annoying because these signals took about 2-3 weeks to come from China. And I don't know if I can contact the... I don't even know if I'm even eligible for a refund now. To be honest with you. They might just do it out of goodwill, but they're not actually expected to... they're not actually expected to, I think, provide you with a refund. I'm just dabbing it onto the tracks now in a last ditch attempt. No, nothing. Hilarious. Come on, Focus put the longest train on so I have to wait for it to move. Yeah, that's annoying. Right, let's get the multimeter and see what happens. Jaden's made some interesting comments about Act 1. Fair enough, I suppose. I don't watch it religiously, but I watch it if it's on. I don't mind it. I'm not an avid watcher, but... I promise you, Jaden, you can have the Flying Scotsman either tomorrow or Sunday or next week when it's been serviced. But at the moment, it is out of action. So there should be... Is the resistor dead? Is that why it's not working at all? Is it just blown up? Oh, right. So we have got 0.7 volts between the resistor and the lights. So that LED isn't dead. What about the green? So the resistor can't be dead then. Ah, the green's dead. Oh, you can't even see this. There you go. Can you see that says OL? So when I connect the multimeter, like that, can you see it reads 739? That's the voltage drop of the red LED in millivolts, so 0.7 volts, 700... 0.7 volts, 700 and odd millivolts we're at now, but if I now go to the green's dead. We're still getting an OL. So the resistor's not dead. We get a path from the resistor leg to the LED. 0.7475 volts, yeah, that's about right. We've got the resistor dropping some as well. But, yeah. So, the signal is dead in the green LED. So why on God's green and luscious earth even, did the red not light up? That's odd. Yeah, on the 9 volt battery the red didn't even light in either. Let's just try the green again. Now let's try it in both directions. Just to be sure. Yeah, that's dead. Yeah, so the red LED says it still has a path across it, but just none of the lights are lighting up. So whether I contact the manufacturer and be cheeky enough to ask for a refund or not, because you can only buy these in packs of 5, I think. You buy them on Amazon. I bought mine on eBay, but you might be able to buy them on Amazon. But yeah, I don't have any green LEDs to replace it with either. Just pull back that heat shrink, see if there's a broken wire. There isn't. Ah, well, what can you do? So, it looks like I'm going to have to order a new signal. Because that one is dead. Part of me wants to just like slice open the back of it now. I'm happy this signal's dead, so I'm happy enough to start slicing into it to see what's wrong with it. So, it doesn't work. Neither the red or the green works. The red or the green works. So I am just going to start slicing into it now because I actually just want to see what's wrong with it. So I'm just going to try and peel away the plastic at the back of the head, I think. See what's up with it. Well, there we go. That's the head detached. And we've got some room to work with now. There we go. Detach the signal head. And now I just want to know what's wrong with it, because I'm going to need a new one, so... Yeah, that's not great if all my signals have started dying and they've not even been in for a year. Tell you what, I'm going to use my bigger snips, because this is quite thick plastic, and I'm just going to end up snapping them pliers and snips, which I've only had a few with. No, it's a very small construction here. I'm impressed with it. Well, I'm not impressed because it's just broken, but let's make some crunchy plastic noises and see what we can get in. Well, that was the green LED, which I've now just broken into a million pieces. Let's see if I can get the red one out without breaking it. No, I probably can't actually. Let's just pinch that. That's the red LED. There's the screwdriver. No, it's on the floor. I'm using one. Jaden's going for dinner. If you're still on when I'm done, then I'll be back. Otherwise, thanks for streaming. Take care. Well, thank you for joining, Jaden. Nice to have you here. And, yeah. Hope to see you sometime soon. I probably won't be on when you're back. Sorry, I probably won't be still on when you're back. I'm going to literally see what's wrong with this signal and then go. Because I only wanted to do just over an hour. And we've crossed an hour and 4 minutes. So, yeah. I'm going to go after this. Yes, but it looked like both the positives of the LED were soldered together and then each wire just went to them. But, yeah, those LEDs were dead when we tested them. The LED was still showing a voltage drop across it, but something's gone wrong other than that because it wasn't light enough. I wonder if it's just gone really high resistance. So, mind you, then you'd have a lot of voltage, wouldn't you? But I'm not too sure what's gone wrong with that. But after tea, I'm going to jump on Amazon and see how much of a pain it is to order just one signal. I know they're Eve model signals, but yeah, I'm a little bit peeved about that because already it's broken. So what I'm going to do is harvest the resistor from it. I think that's a 1K resistor, so I might be able to use that. So I've just dropped it there to dim the other ones. That's a 1K resistor, so I might be able to use it to dim the other ones, but we'll have to see. There's no point keeping that wire, it's literally just start these stuff, I've got loads of that. Yeah, That's annoying. Yeah, that is really annoying. It's got a metal tube down the middle though, which might be quite useful. So, yeah. I'm just going to hack up this signal now for this metal tube and call it a day, I think. So that's quite disappointing. So we've learnt today, and hopefully I can get this fixed next week, but we've learnt today that one of the signals is broken. So I don't know if I can get that fixed for next week, but I'll certainly try. Yeah, that's really annoyed me, is that. Oh, and Flying Scotsman needs servicing, as I said to Jaden. So, off to eBay it is. I really could do with measuring how tall these are. I've got the ruler somewhere. Because I know you can get them in different sizes, so I need to make sure I order the right height. So these are approximately 6.57 centimetres. So we'll try that. That's, yeah. I thought these bits of plastic would have sort of slid over this metal tube, but they're actually sort of bonded onto it, so I may just try and cut through it and then leave it at that. Nah, that's really quite, yeah, the players aren't going to go through that, that's really stiff, isn't it? Could try standing on them. Oh, there we go. Nah, it's not worth keeping that metal tube. I thought that metal tube might be useful for making a bush or a bearing or something, but it's not going to be because there's no way to get that plastic off easily. So yeah, that's a bit of a disappointment. So I think we'll pull the 08 out of the shed. With the 2 signals down now, because I've had to desolder that one. We'll send the 08 for a last lap, slow down the trains, and I think I'll call it a day for there. Yeah, I'm a little bit annoyed about that. At least we've found my magnets though, so we can have the lights on in the stream. Yeah, it's annoyed me a little bit, isn't it? So, I'll go off on Amazon or eBay after the stream and see how much of the paint is to order. Let's get this camera lined up how it worked at the start. We'll see if I can get a replacement signal. But thank you for your patience tonight, although it's not gone that well for me. Hopefully you've enjoyed seeing some of the trains running. I certainly have. It's been nice. And a little bit of troubleshooting as well, as I said, that was the point of today's stream. So I know Flying Scotsman needs servicing. I know that because Jaden reminded me when he asked for it. But we'll see. We'll see, might do a similar thing again tomorrow and hopefully we can do some more testing and do a few more requests. Yeah, that point's fine, I haven't disrupted that. So there goes the 08 and now we're just waiting for the D11 and we'll call tonight a night. At least we haven't had any horrific derailments tonight, that'd have been annoying. And I'll get these Virgin coaches stripped down on eBay at some point as well. I said I were going to do that tonight, but it's 9:30 now and I kind of want to watch the darts, so that might be a Saturday morning, afternoon job. There might be. Oh, that was rather an abrupt stop. You know what? We're not stopping it after that. We'll just say somebody ran onto the line in front of the train. We're going to make it a full, proper, decent stop. Got to end on a decent stop. And also these Virgin coaches are going shortly, so might as well make the last use of them worthwhile. And I'm aware how much stupidity it is running a D11 with Virgin coaches, but I don't care. Let's try and do a gentle controlled stop. Oh, going a bit slow here. Not too bad. Right, everyone. Thank you very much for watching today's stream. I do hope you enjoyed it. Even though there has been a little bit of faff with these 2 signals here, but you know, what can you do? I'm going to see if I can get a replacement that doesn't take 3 weeks to come from China. Amazon might have to pay for delivery from Amazon, but once I get it, it should not be too much of a pain just to wire those up again. Anyway, I'll see how we go with that. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Thank you to everyone who's been in the live chat. I think tonight has been Jaden from On My Main Line, Pete from Pete's Transport and More, and Timber Valley Productions. Thank you all very much for joining. And thanks for people who've been in the background, not necessarily in the live chat as well. Hopefully we'll be back for another stream tomorrow. I'm thinking of doing another one similar to this, and hopefully we won't have a signal failure like we've had done today. I guess at some point on the real railway, you have signal failures, and now we've emulated one in model railway form, except of course you don't crawl under baseboards and splash hot solder all over your legs to fix them. Anyway, aside from that, it's been a good stream. We've not got any power problems on the layout. I know the track needs cleaning, so therefore I am going to put a track rubber across the tracks. She's wedged in this house's little backyard thing. So I'm going to wedge that there, and that'll remind me to clean the tracks. The Flying Scotsman needs servicing, which I will get out of the drawer, and that will remind me to do it for next week. And I need also to find the body screw for it as well, because I'm not quite sure where that's gone. I'll have one in my spares box somewhere. So if I put these like that, that'll remind me to do that. The signal I'm going to do straight away when I get out of the loft, and the Virgin coaches I'm going to take all the lighting bits and bobs out of. And then I am going to put them on eBay, strip them all out tomorrow. So, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I'll just say goodbye to Jaden, who said goodbye earlier. I said bye to Timber Valley Productions earlier, and Pete has said take care, George. Have a nice evening. I will do indeed, Pete. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you hopefully all tomorrow. Do take care, and I've been George from Highbrook End Model Railway.